Yeah, exactly. I mean, those famines were deliberately orchestrated by Stalin. In a way, I think it's a miscomprehension that those famines were somehow. I think we understand famines as somehow some kind of terrible accident that happens because the weather hasn't worked, or there's been a problem of some kind that has nothing to do with anyone, and then you have this tragedy of these famines. But these famines in Russia were in fact deliberately caused by the government, which went in and confiscated vast amount of grain and left an amount of grain for the farmers that was so tiny there was simply no way to live. And there's no doubt in my mind that they knew that vast numbers of people would die, and it was a deliberate murder in that sense. Yeah, I mean, that comes out very strongly in books like The Gulag Archipelago, which, you say to people that you're reading and they say, oh, that sounds like it's very sort of melancholy and a very deep read. And of course it is, but one of the things that Solzhenitsyn is very good at is picking up this absurdity. For example, they would take great elaborate lengths to try and conceal these deportations of people. They would have the vans that would take people from Lubyanka to the train stations disguised as, trucks carrying vegetables. They would paint the word vegetable on the side, but in fact these were carrying families or, suspects that were taken off to deportation. But of course people knew that these people were missing because there were simply so many people going missing. It was absurd to think that somehow you could cover it up by painting a van with the word vegetable, because, your wife would go missing or your neighbours would disappear. I mean, everyone knew about this fear, but yet they still thought they could try and cover it up and lie. And in the same way the approach is the same to crime. People knew these crimes were happening, but there was such pressure on them to deny existed that they, in a way, had to admit that they didn't exist. Well, I think the absurdity is that you can somehow build a utopia, a dream state, through murder. It seems to me that is the very fundamental paradox of this regime, which is they keep promising they're going to reach a state of where everyone is equal and everyone has the sort of fair distribution of wealth. But this idea that fairness and equality, that somehow the road to that can be paved with so much blood and so much murder, and the most unequal society, which is this autocratic, despotic leader who has all this power, whilst everyone else has no power to either vote this person out or even express an opinion contrary to the opinion given by the state. So it's this total dichotomy between the way in which the dream is achieved and the dream itself seems to me the fundamentally ridiculous thing about this society. Yeah, I mean, you had murderers. You had murderers and rapists in charge of the police force. I mean, these people were the people who were meant to be enforcing the law. It was a totally upside-down society where the people being criminalized were innocent, and the criminals were the police force. So it was this flip, this very Kafkaesque legal system.